Boom, and we're rolling. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special Christmas edition of History Homos podcast. And tonight, my illustrious co-host is our normally on the ancient Rome desk. Tonight, he's serving as our co-host, the donkey of comedy, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Tamburro.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And you heard him. And you probably see him if you're watching the video version, but a repeat guest and one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Steve Conti.
The God.
What's happening?
Oh, we're going to talk about some fucking Christmas.
It's my favorite holiday.
Is it your favorite holiday?
Other than my birthday. I like the ones where you get presents. Other than that, every other holiday can suck my dick.
Yeah, I was going to say, before the show, Bobby was like, hey, so how you doing, man? I'm like, wait, save it for the show. Because I'm doing fucking horrible. I hate Christmas.
Oh, no.
I hate Christmas. Well, I mean, it may not be so much surprise to you about my lineage, but we don't celebrate Christmas. But also, it's like my busy season and my day job. And it's just, I hate family, and I hate festivities, but anyway, what's your favorite part of Christmas, guys?
How much you hate it is now my new favorite part of Christmas.
Yeah, you know what? I can see as far as spite goes.
Oh yeah, because tomorrow and the next day, I'm just gonna eat and be showered with gifts, treated like a king, essentially. And you're just like, I fucking hate it because I'm a Jew.
That is a big part of it. But
I'm gonna play the sappy one here. My favorite part's like the night, Christmas Eve. Like, it's the pinnacle of excitement. Everybody's kind of just doing good for a day, and like the next day at like 4 p.m. on Christmas, everybody kind of goes back to being a piece of shit.
Yes, so that's true.
It's just like the pinnacle of like everybody doing the good. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I like that your family doesn't have the thing where they're just a piece of shit the whole time, and it doesn't matter that it's Christmas.
I said 4 p.m., dude.
Stop.
4 p.m. at Christmas Day. The gloves come off. We can just keep it together until then.
Well, listeners of this show will remember that Bobby is a very sentimental boy when it comes to Christmas. He told a story one of the first time he was on the show about how he came to blows with another child over the existence of Santa Claus.
Oh, no.
It's like you win the fight, and then you get home, and your parents are like, hey, we have to tell you something. And you learn Santa Claus isn't real. You won the fight. You were the bad guy. It's like the Nazis. Like, you got home and you realized you were fighting for the Nazis, and you're like,
are we the baddies?
Yeah.
By the way, that Jew boy you beat up was right. Santa's not real. And now
I made that joke, actually. I said that when I was a kid in elementary school, I took great pleasure in revealing the secret, and I would have been on Bobby's hit list.
Apparently, Bobby would have fucking kicked the shit out of you if he's talking shit like that.
Yeah.
Talking shit on the North Pole in Hershey, PA. Get the fuck out of here.
This was a good Christian kid. Okay, that was just trying to ruin my fun. For Jewish people, I just point out which story is more likely, huh? The Christmas story, woman gets knocked up, doesn't know who the father is, and claims it's somebody way
or the Holocaust.
It actually is, or that oil lasted. I think there might have been a little extra oil in there, Scott. I don't think that's that great of a story.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is really just a story about Jews being Jewish and cheap and making a little last a lot.
We had so very little, but it lasted so very long.
Yeah, I was so shocked. We had a lot more oil than I thought. I guess I kept it behind the gefilte fish. Anyway, let's celebrate.
They got flying reindeer in their stories. What a bunch of malarkey. We just had a little bit of oil, and it lasted a very long time because we're frugal people.
Dude, the thing about Hanukkah is it's like a fake holiday. It's like Kwanzaa. It was a holiday, but it was like one of those bullshit, like this is gazillion fucking Jewish holidays, and it was one of the lesser ones, and they elevated it to be like, hey, we get something in December too, guys.
Can't let those Catholics have all the fun.
I have this light bulb in my room, Scott, that's lasted a couple of years now. You want to throw a big festival for it?
Hey, dude, let's get drunk. Fuck it. Let's make it a holiday.
Yeah, I have no beef with it. Let's elevate all the holidays together.
Yeah.
Why don't we
Bobby's
give gifts on the
Festival of
4th of July?
Fuck. But yeah, so I guess one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight was a story that really touched me, actually. The story of
was the story of your uncle at Christmas.
Yeah, well, there is a reason why I don't like Christmas. There may be some association there, you know.
Some ass rape and mouth fucking that I wasn't.
I also said I hate my family, and you know, I'm very irrationally angry right now.
The worst part is he's Jewish too, so for him it was just a Tuesday. There was nothing special about it. It wasn't sentimental.
I'm just molesting you in a December day. It's just cold outside. That's all this is for me.
It's cold. I can't go play frisbee. What am I gonna do?
I was gonna say I wasn't able to go play outside and escape him.
This Christmas episode started out on a dark note.
Hell yeah, dude. This is what it's all about, baby.
Yes.
Fuck. Anyway, so yeah, the thing I was talking about, actually, dude, like no bullshit. I was watching a bunch of documentaries about it today. And we're talking about, anyway, one of the most horrific fucking time periods in the entire history of the world, by the way, the World War One. But the first Christmas of World War One was a very sweet story about brotherhood and peace and looking at other people as equals and the gayest sport ever, soccer.
What did people get for Christmas back during World War One? Like, was it like
cigarettes?
A can of peaches? Big deal.
Yeah. Cognac. Apparently cognac, cigarettes, chocolate, and fucking scarves.
Ooh, and a picture of the princess if you were an English soldier.
Ooh,
she sent you cigarettes and a picture of herself.
A pipe with the queen on it. But which, by the way, not for nothing, sounds like a pretty dope Christmas package. I'll take all that shit. Chocolate, cognac, and fucking a pipe.
I mean, it's better than some of the presents I got in, 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like socks, that fucking shirt I don't want.
Crippling student debt.
Socks are a good gift.
Yeah, socks are always good, dude. Why would you ever kick socks out of bed for we're eating crackers?
I regretted it the second I said it. When I was a kid, I would be like, oh, fucking socks and a sweater. My grandma's gay. But now
yeah,
like,
fuck that dead bitch.
Socks and a sweater would be amazing. Stop buying me things I don't want.
Yeah, save me a fucking trip, dude.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Anyway, so this was, basically this was well, let me just set the stage a little bit here. Basically, World War One was a brother war that was perpetuated by the Jews, and just kidding. It was. Yeah, I am. Yeah. What's it called though? No, it was just basically a stupid fight between one royal family, literally the dude who was the head of Germany, who basically catapulted the entire thing into motion, was cousins with the Queen of England and somebody else.
Wilhelm?
Yeah, Kaiser Wilhelm. And by the way, here's a little connection too to Bobby at the fucking ancient Rome desk. Kaiser is it's Caesar.
That's and didn't it go to Tsar in Russian as well?
Correct.
Based in Caesar.
Yeah.
Get to keep my job for another week.
Yep.
Bobby, you're so well versed in stuff.
You're so well versed in Wikipedia, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I call Wikipedia the primary sources.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway. Fuck. So it was just a goofy fight, and here's the thing with all the people who were fighting in World War One, like they had no interest as a country to take part in it, because it wasn't really over resources. It wasn't really over fucking that. No one was like, literally.
It was over abroad.
There were no false flags to rally the people.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, there was no fucking planes flying into buildings. Yeah. Fuck, dude. And so the people in it they kind of got jazzed up on like proto-nationalism, every leader of the country basically said to the soldiers, like, dude, we're gonna be done by Christmas. This ain't even a thing. And so Christmas rolls around, and they just had one of the first very brutal battles of the war, and in which 750,000 people died.
So this is Christmas.
Yes, basically.
And everyone's dead. Fuck Kaiser Wilhelm.
And
Mom gave me head.
His helmet looks like a dickhead. Yeah. So so they were all like, "Fuck this! This is gay. I don't want to fight anymore." And
and the guys in World War I.
That's literally how they got started, though.
Fucking cannon shots, because this was one of those middle wars where I think they're still using cannons, kind of, but also had regular guns and stuff.
Artillery,
they were just like, "Oh, this is gay."
Dude, some guy gets
war's so fucking gay.
Someone catches a machine gun bullet to the chest, falls over in no man's land, and goes, "Ugh! Oh, faggot."
You're all a bunch of queers.
But yeah, so like Bobby said, the part of the reason that they sent all this shit, like basically both of the governments, this is the beginning of the war, like they haven't burned up all their cash yet, and so the governments are able to send like a bunch of shit to the soldiers to be like, "All right, guys, see, I know we told you to be done by Christmas, but here's like a bunch of shit to make you happy, right?" And they sent them so much stuff that they had so many cigarettes that they couldn't carry them all. They literally sent each person a packet with 1,000 fucking cigarettes in it. And these are like Lucky Strikes. They got no fucking filters in them. Those things
First
are rough.
World War problems.
Yeah, right.
My
we have too many
part
cigarettes.
My favorite part of the documentary I was watching on this today was they were like explaining the gifts, and they were like, the Germans, they got a little cognac, some pipe tobacco, cigarettes. And then they're like, and then the English got cigarettes, pipe tobacco. And then the people from home would send things like cigarettes and pipe tobacco. It seems like cigarettes were just the shit during World War I.
Yeah.
How many times do you think they ran out of food, but they're like, well, let's just smoke a whole pack. That'll be the same.
Yeah. When we've got all these cigarettes.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I never want to fucking have lunch after I just puffed a fucking butt.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that thing's sweet.
Thanks, Bobby.
What's it called? Dude, I tell you, fucking, I'm so lazy. Like, I've been smoking the same bowl since I was like fucking like 18. And like, also, I'm too lazy to clean it. So every time I use it, I have to use one of these. Well, no, it's like one of those little all glass ones. And it's like this fucking big. But every time I use it, I have to jam like a fucking like barbecue skewer in there to fucking get to work.
Yeah. I'm done with pipes like within a month because of that. Like the gunk that builds up in these fucking things is so gross. And like usually I get like a $7-10 pipe anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing I paid $3 for it. I've had it since fucking 2009.
Oh, how do you not just taste that though?
I do.
I had a fucking pipe once that like every time I tried to pull from it, it was my favorite pipe. I had to stop using it because every time I pulled from it, this like brown black gunk would just get all
on your
my
lips.
fucking lips and like in my mouth.
Yeah.
There's no point in this. This is the most disgusting way to smoke weed. No thanks.
Yeah, I remember when I was a fucking young buck and I had no money, and I'd be like, it'd be like in fucking Trailer Park Boys where I'd go to the fucking gas station and give them $2 for fucking gas because that's all the money I had. But
cigarettes.
Yeah, fucking, I would literally like, I would go and I would take like a knife and like chisel out some of the fucking resin and just be like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have 3 bowl packs from this. It's gonna be fucking sweet. I mean, dude, I was fucking 19 years old. It's what you do.
It tastes so gross.
I know.
It's like smoking burnt shit.
Yeah.
It's not even like just like a Bernie, like would you picture coming off a barbecue? It's like smoking like someone's shit that got left in the sun for about a month.
Someone who ate a whole bunch of weed and then took a dump and then that dried out.
Yeah.
Occasionally a piece of it will catch fire like a piece of wood, not like weed does. It'll be like burning actually,
Yes.
and smoking, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here.
I caused a brush fire in my fucking fuck. Anyway, fuck.
Said
Well, I guess
things were so bad. I just want to touch on this point. So it rained
please take the
all
reins,
December.
co-host.
It rained all December.
Yeah.
To the point where it froze around December 12th. And people were excited just because their boots wouldn't be soggy. They're like, I'd rather it be freezing cold and dry than wet. So like things were just terrible. So that kind of sets the stage for what's
It's like Forrest Gump.
It's exactly. They
Pretty
just want
much.
it to be dry.
Skinny rain, fast rain.
Here's a little bit of fucking trivia.
up,
Actually, the reason why they didn't all die of trench foot in Vietnam, even though
They
like
died
in
from fucking lung cancer. Oh no.
they died of heroin overdoses.
They were fucking smoking 30 packs of cigarettes a day.
No,
I don't know.
but
They were using some terrible chemicals. They all seemed to develop lung cancer after World War One. We don't know what it could have been. Not
Yeah, it must have been those bioweapons they were using. Not the fucking carton of unfiltered cigarettes they smoked every day.
But no, they did. They did fucking die of fucking trench foot. I'm talking about in Vietnam and the Forrest Gump times.
Yeah.
But fucking no. In Vietnam though, they figured out that they needed ventilation in the shoes so the water could get out. And that's the reason why all those, they didn't figure this shit out back in fucking 1914, but people are just dropping like flies because their feet would rot off. And they just, the fucking the infections would just go all the way up to their brain, because their shoes would just be full of water for like literally weeks at a time. And that just turns your flesh into putrefaction essentially.
Hell yeah. So
That's
I
pretty
wear
metal.
shoes at the water park.
Yeah. Also the piss. You're stepping in mostly piss when you fucking whenever you're at the water park.
I can't be mad because I'm always the one who pisses in the pool. So
okay.
It's like I just, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta swim.
Can't beat them, join them.
No, if you gotta pee, join them. You're in water. Who cares?
Yep. Anyway, so like Bobby said, this was like right before Christmas. Everything got cold, and right before Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas, the storms finally stopped, and like it was real nice and clear. A little bit of snow fell, and it like looked all iconic or whatever I guess the word would be, and it's just like a nice day to have Christmas. It got a little warmer, I think, and basically everyone was like, do you feel like fighting? It's fucking Christmas.
Well,
this is Christmas.
The murmurings actually started a few weeks before. You said there was the big battle where like 700 people died.
Eepers.
Two factions basically signaled to each other, a group of English, and I believe it was Scottish. I may be getting that wrong.
Yes.
And a German faction signaled to each other that, hey, we want to pick up the dead bodies. Like, don't shoot. Let's call a ceasefire so we can pick up our dead and see if there's any.
We're really horny over here, and we're not gay. We got to do something. And there's just like a pile of.
And you Scottish guys are all wearing dresses, so
yeah,
I mean,
you guys
come on.
fuck cows, so there's not much different between a cow and a German guy. We're both hairy.
Yeah, they both just shit openly. Look.
But it was just these royal people fighting, that wanted to fight, and the common folk were actually fighting. So they're out in the field and they're kind of like talking to each other, like, "Are you all about this?" And they're like, "No, I'm not. Are you?" And the other
Four is gay, right? Yeah, Four's really fucking gay.
Dude, this is gay.
Dude, my friend's foot rotted off. You should have seen it. It's terrifying. And so they started to kind of murmur there, and that's where the seedlings of this really kind of got started.
Right. And then finally, specifically, there was one story. Here's the thing you got to understand. This is not like something that unilaterally happened. This is something that happened in like 500 little places. And, as a rule, none of them, because like some of these fucking regiments or whatever, I don't know how these fucking faggot British people organize their military, but whatever they're called, like some of their fucking battalion leaders were like a fucking real hard ass, And so they were just like, no, fuck you. You're going to kill these fucking krauts. I'm sorry. You have to, blokes.
I'm pretty sure it was.
By the way, I like that your take is that he was a hard ass and was like, hey, we got to kill these guys in war. I don't know if you guys remember why we're here.
Well,
yeah, I would be the same, like, yeah, no, we're not taking a break.
Yeah.
I think it's
well. That's why you're so fast rising in this industry, Steve. Because you're a fucking take no prisoners kind of dude. What can I say?
Like, hey, that guy that came over here to say, "Okay, can we stop? Shoot him in the fucking head."
There are a couple of stories that happened.
Yes,
the Germans came over with like newspapers waving and just got shot up because they thought they were attacking.
Yeah.
It's a trap. It's a trick. Just shoot that motherfucker. Yeah.
Shoot the fucking Jerry's. I fucking told you, innit?
But Himmler definitely had your stance, Steve. It's like he wrote in his journal, was basically like, all these pussies, they want to go out and like have
that was Himmler?
You should be fighting. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And the one that said it was Himmler that wrote it, because it was like he then wrote Rose to Fuhrer.
Oh yeah.
So
fuck. Damn, dude.
War is war. That is what you must do. Kill the faggots.
Exactly. But it all
they
started.
Are gay. We must not let the gay people live.
Shoots them all. If they are talking with the enemy, shoots them.
Oh, this would be so much easier if they was just like in a camp or something. You know, round it up like in one place. We don't have to find them here, there. Just shoot them right there. I'm gonna think on that some more.
Man, this war is such a struggle. It's almost like it's my struggle. Anyway.
By the way, fuck the Jews, am I right?
Yeah, I don't fucking anyway, but
that's what happened. On Christmas, somebody came up to him and was like, this isn't a Jewish holiday. They're the ones who told everybody to celebrate today. And he was like,
good point. Fuck. But yeah, so what are some of the things that happened? So basically, one of the big things was the Germans. Well, first of all, it's worth mentioning that like Christmas, like as a holiday, is like kind of in a lot of ways innately German.
I don't know that there's any shitting on people on Christmas. So your facts are a little mixed up.
Your family doesn't do that?
Well,
no, but
I thought that was just my family.
But the trains always do run on time on Christmas, though. But no. But yeah, a lot of the traditions, like the Christmas tree, for instance, is literally like it's like part of the. Well, you want to take a break from talking about this a little bit, Bobby, to talk about Saturnalia?
Yeah, sure. Let's venture. Actually, let's come back to this later. Let's stay on this one because we're almost there with this story.
Fair
let's
enough.
wrap this one.
That's true. But yeah,
Saturnalia, is that an alien spaceship?
Kind of. Don't get Scott started on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
a
but yeah,
holiday.
we'll get it's a Roman holiday, but we'll get to that. So anyway, the Germans they're really big into Christmas is basically what I'm trying to say. They're the ones you may have heard recently that they all these people keep bringing up the Krampus, which is like like the evil Santa. That's like straight out of like German, like Hansel and Gretel, the witch is gonna eat you stories. Like, and it's
they like teaching kids lessons by scaring the absolute shit out of them and traumatizing them to the point where they're just into weird porn later on in life.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a lot of the traditions are German. But anyway, so they start singing Silent Night in the original Austrian words because it's an Austrian song originally. And the British soldiers. And also, it's worth mentioning that like these dudes are literally. Oh, hang on. Oh fuck, he's got a fucking. Fuck it. The world can know. Anyway, what's it called? So they start singing Silent Night. And the British people start hearing it, and they go, "Fuck it, let's just sing along. It's Christmas, dude."
Well, the one I read started out. They were like, "Well, we can't let those German out-sing us," so they were singing their own versions louder at first, trying to out-sing the Germans.
It should have been. These dumb motherfuckers are all giving away their location. I can literally hear what I'm shooting at.
Well, that's the funny you should say that is because some of the fucking on both sides, some of the officers were like, just shoot him, get him. Yeah. Fuck. Also joining the show is one gay Englishman named William.
Hello, boys.
Hi, William.
We're talking.
I'm MILF Hunter, but the M stands for man.
That's a good one. You'll have to save that one. But yeah, I also, by the way, speaking of which, you should adopt that. But I was also going to say, I actually decided that my new moniker is going to be the most honest Jew in media.
Yeah.
Trademark that.
Yeah,
that.
I should. Oh fuck! Great. Now it's already out there. I should go register the website before I upload the episode.
There's nothing like faint praise, especially faint self-praise.
Yeah. Extremely faint. But anyway, so basically they started yelling Merry Christmas over to each other, and and like I said before, they had so much fucking cigarettes that they decided that they could stand to trade some for some other shit. Like they had other shit.
Hey bro, you got any rats? We can start in a pet shop when I get back to Munich.
The Christmas tree was super important to him, and that's how they signaled to the English they weren't going to kill him. They built fake Christmas trees to say, "Oh, it's peaceful."
Yeah, we're celebrating, bruh. Come over here and have some fucking cognac.
The opposite of a Trojan horse.
And
it is a bit of a phallic symbol. Speaking of Trojans.
A Christmas tree is a phallic symbol. I suppose, yeah, it's some kind of pagan symbol, isn't it? Of
symbol of rebirth at Saturnalia coming up in the next segment, William.
Yep.
Right,
Bobby's really taking a shining to co-host, by the way.
Yeah, you missed it, dude. You got fired, big guy.
Yeah. This is now the Scott and Bobby show. Deal with it. Fuck England. Fucking East Coast forever, baby.
I'm cool.
When they brought me on, that's what they said. They're like, yeah, the other guy died, so we're just gonna do it with me and Bobby from now on. He was gay. Who cares?
Hey, I got offered enough money to work, so.
So yeah, a lot of there's some really great photos. And of like, dude, there's like I can't even believe it. They have like the fucking German guys with the fucking spike helmets, and they're shaking hands with fucking Tommies, and they're fucking, of course, smoking ciggies.
But I mean, how depressing was it the day after Boxing Day, which after Christmas, which in England we call Boxing Day,
right?
Because we're weird like that. We're gay.
Yeah, what does that mean? Why is it Boxing Day?
Boxing Day is traditionally.
Does it have to do with gift giving to the servants?
No, it's gift giving day. It's generally the day gifts were exchanged.
Oh,
was the day after Christmas.
I only thought of like punching and sports, and boxing.
Well, a lot of that's it.
That's like how you guys call football or soccer football.
Yeah, because it's a ball game.
That's a word for a different sport. Don't use that word for that.
Well, depending on your upbringing, some people call rugby football. Because they're both different kinds. One's association football, the other's rugby football.
Regardless of how you raised, you're wrong.
Yeah. So if you're talking to someone very posh, they will call, when they say football or footer, they mean rugby. And Aussies call a lot of Aussies
footy.
A lot of Aussies. Yeah, Aussies call, if an Aussie says footy, they mean rugby. As a rule.
Well, there's the fucking Australian bench, the Australian desk with William coming in hot off a fucking overtime shift to tell us about what the fucking Andrew Kempland says. Fuck. So yeah,
I got sidetracked today. I was making some fucking stellar point there. I've forgotten what the fuck it is.
It's okay,
Australia.
buddy.
You're known as a banana bender.
Yeah. Well, fucking.
It's the term for people use it.
You know what they call speedos in Australia?
A grape smuggler.
No,
Bullet frost.
budgie smuggler.
Fuck.
William, this is like
what I was
well-known
going to say,
story, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say I remember what my point was. That
Okay, go shoot.
How fucking depressing was it?
Oh, okay.
On Boxing Day when they had to start trying to kill each other again. I mean, that's like you have basically what's a team building exercise for the day. It's sort of like
they did trust falls and shit.
It's like an episode of The Office, and the officers are all like Michael Scott. You're having a visit from fucking corporate, and then the next day they're back to. I suppose it is like an episode of The Office, isn't it?
It really much is. Yeah.
Except people's fucking heads are exploding and shit.
Yeah, grim.
But how did they decide to stop, goofing off and then start killing each other?
Well, that's an interesting question, because some people decided to wait till fucking January 2nd, baby, because the party keeps going.
Yeah. No, but it must have been like that. You know, when you were a kid, how a Sunday evening felt.
Yeah, the Sunday scaries, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, imagine that World War I football match Sunday scary. It's fucking awful.
Yeah. Except you're gonna have to watch your friend drag himself with no legs tomorrow too. Is the worst part.
Or you're gonna have to watch the guy you were just doing trust falls with do it. Then you're the one that took his legs off.
Right. Yeah.
A couple of English commanders tried to take care of that issue by just ordering a 24-hour straight mandatory artillery battering nonstop. They were like, we're going to get over these feelings of love real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lost, it's kind of celebrated as a great moment in history. But another way of looking at it is that it was such a huge missed opportunity for the men on both sides to just mutiny and say, fuck this, we're going home.
Yeah.
They were this close.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point you brought up, though. You said this is a really well-known story, but I think it gets lost over on this side of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a very well-spread story in England? The one story or article I was reading was like, this is more well-known than what like actually happened in World War I in England. You're more likely to find somebody who knows this story than like the actual.
Absolutely. It's a big part of the British myth, if you like. And a myth doesn't necessarily have to be untrue, but it's it's how people think of themselves.
It's like I guess legends aren't always true either, but they sometimes are. I guess
exactly.
A legend is more likely to be true than a myth.
A myth or a legend, it can be. No, I think equally they can both be true or untrue. They're most likely untrue, but that they can be true. It's just it's like a point of view kind of thing, isn't it? But yeah, it's a big part of the British myth.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that Dunkirk movie came out. I like very vaguely knew that there was a point where the British had to abandon France, but I didn't realize like what a fucking I know you mentioned before that Dunkirk is like one of the defining moments of World War II for England, right? Isn't it?
The Dunkirk spirit is an everyday saying. It's you keep swinging until you're dead, sort of thing. You know, you don't give up until it's over. It's sadly lacking in our administration at the moment. I'll fucking tell you that.
Yeah, well, that's because at the time fighting World War II was in their fucking the fucking ruling elite's favor. Yeah. And now, doing what's right for fucking, England or whatever is not in their fucking favor. So it is what it is, boy.
They're trying to fuck us over at every turn. But, what's new?
Yep. I mean, we are talking about World War I, the time that they royally, no pun intended, fucked you over. So.
Well, I think World War I and World War II are the same thing.
Yes, they are. They're both brother wars. Yeah.
Well, brother. I mean, the Boer War. I don't class that as.
Don't bring up fucking Cecil Rhodes again.
No, I'm just saying. That's a brother war as well.
Yeah,
In fact, basically, you had and I guess this is the same with the 1776 skirmish. That
Oh, you don't want to call it what it is, do you, fucking limey boy? You don't want to call the time that your fucking kids whipped your ass. The student becomes the master.
That unfortunate incident. Back
Well,
in
not really.
72.
We don't like to talk about it, innit?
I do like to talk about 70s.
I know. I'm fucking with
all
you.
the time, but because I think in common with the Boer War, they were two definitely just wars, except that Britain was on the unjust side. And
Yeah.
like you've got these kind of English peons in the military in those conflicts who are either there as an alternative to prison or because they that if they don't do that, the mother will starve. And so they get put on a fucking sailing ship and sent to Africa or America to fight for something they've got no understanding of whatsoever against people who are better than them. And it's like, it's such a fucking... I mean, that's part of the myth of the American Revolution is fuel for the myth that justice will prevail, whereas the Boer War was the opposite of that, wasn't it? It was like,
It will never prevail.
yeah, it was like the Boer War was more, well, it's a thoroughly depressing conflict, isn't it? People who literally gone to the ends of the earth just to be left alone, had the misfortune to find a big mountain full of diamonds, and that marked them out for everybody following them there.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine you go into the bathroom to jerk off and lock the door, and then the police hear a rumor that you've got 10 kilograms of cocaine.
Boy, mate, you got a fucking license to jack off in your fucking loo.
Oh, I just want to come on my poop. Leave me alone.
Dude, I want to shoot ropes on my logs. Give me a fucking break.
Let's say it's December 23rd and you're a trucker and you're at a truck stop and you just want to jerk off in a bathroom alone and the cops come in because they think you've got meth.
Wait a minute, I didn't have my Zoom call open when I was working, did I? That's what I said when they offered me enough money to work tonight. It wasn't my employer that offered me that money.
Shit.
It was gaytruckers.com. I got a fucking red hot hookup, so I'll see if I can get some overtime tonight. I'll meet you there.
Wrenchtruckers.com. Fuck. All right. Anything else we want to get to for the fucking...
One thing I really liked in that story was that there was a group of Indian people fighting in the war that had no idea what was going on or why there was fire, but they were like, I guess it's like our big holiday. We'll just call it Peace Too. And just we're like, nah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Or it must be like the 12 days of stink. Fucking stop fighting, do smelling, do shitting, do eating curry sauce on chicken.
1 vindaloo, 2 chicken marsalas.
So wait, they were like platoons of confused Indians watching these fucking dorky white fucking faggots.
Yeah.
And they're just like, why the fuck? We don't even have real gun. Why they stop shoot?
But I mean, I thought, Bobby, you were saying that, like, they had no idea what World War One was all about. And like, yeah, newsflash, neither did anybody else.
That's true. They had about as much business being there as everyone else did. Yeah. Fuck.
Is that you have something behind you, Bobby? For the listener, Bobby has some kind of is it a gaming chair or something with the number 16 on the headrest?
Oh, that's an old lacrosse jersey. That's left over from a podcast I was doing.
Okay,
yeah, my bad.
That's
Eastside Dave shows what's important.
Yeah, I was just.
He's always rapping.
I thought that maybe that was the maximum age thing on the headboard.
Yeah, Bobby likes them old.
Shit. Anything else we want to get to with the story? Because we got a whole second topic to get to tonight, guys. We're making
Hell
great
yeah.
fucking time here.
Also, when you and Bobby do this show, you have topics.
Well, we have
have a
topics
bunch.
too, but it's usually like jacking off, fucking a dump we took that day,
Coming
a
on poop.
commercial. Coming on, shooting ropes on logs, fucking a commercial I saw.
Sounds like me and Steve should have a show.
Yeah. Fuck.
Guys who come.
Anyway, but so Bobby, you're the one who did the fucking digging on this Saturnalia thing, but for those uninitiated, basically the most of the rituals we associate with Christmas are actually all basically poached from the pagan Roman religions in an effort for the newly established Catholic Church to retain the following of the people that they had just basically, but what happened was, the Roman Empire basically was like, all right, we're Christian now. And in order to get people to actually sell. Yeah. Oh, come on. Like they weren't fucking doing that already. Jesus Christ. It's fucking.
Everyone.
They came from the Greeks.
When I was a kid, my mum used to say, don't eat that biscuit when you're lying down on the sofa, because that's what caused the fall of the Roman Empire. People lying down and eating. Right? But
oh, geez, I might be single-handedly fucking responsible for the fall of the American Empire. Then,
so no, this is my point, right? Drawing an analogy to the American Empire, stroke British, stroke Chinese Empire, whatever it is. Yep. The fucking it was Christianity to the Roman Empire what wokeism is to the American Empire.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Did they go, oh, okay, we'll be Christian, and then the fucking wheels came off because it wasn't designed to run that way.
I'm gonna take the counterpoint on this one.
Go on then.
Okay, please.
Remember when we just talked about Julius Caesar storming the empire by force, taking the capital and turning it from a republic to a dictatorship?
Yeah.
I think that's really when you started to see the fall of the Roman ideals, because it was like less about the man and more about the individual. And if you look at the writing of the time, it really shifts from a group perspective to an individualistic perspective.
Right.
So I think like it was more so,
but like an individual leader, right? But
yeah, but even like the Roman culture at the time was all about like the family, and then extended onto a bigger unit, the community, and then expanded to a bigger unit, the Roman Empire.
Fucking commies.
And so that's how they would take everybody in too, is it would be like, yeah, we just conquered you. You could be our slaves for a few years and then we'll treat you like everybody else. And they were like, okay, yeah, that's better than fighting you for another decade and losing everybody. And then it became a very like Roman individual hierarchy. You kind of see this order coming into play. And I think it was that more so than anything that really led to the fall of the Roman Empire.
But when you're talking about the increase, you're not talking about individualism. You're talking about a single, going from a
and like focused on individual achievement, individual expression, things like that. Like obviously there was always that, but it was more about the family, and then it became more about the individual.
So destruction of basically it was the welfare state that did it.
You nailed it.
I was kind of part of it. I mean, like whenever the fucking Romans came in and conquered somebody, they like part of the way they'd sweeten the deals, be like, yo, dude, you can get some fucking Skrilla.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you were pretty good at killing a bunch of my soldiers. How would you like to be my soldier? We'll pay you. We'll pay you a lot better than what you were making.
And once we conquer the next place, yeah. And once we conquer the next place, you'll get them as slaves. It's like a literal Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Do you have this? It's a bit of a sidebar here, but do you in America? Do you have the same mandatory sentences or same sentencing regime for rape as you do for murder, or is rape considered?
They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
Why'd you answer that so quickly, Scott?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked into
Beat a couple cases, no big deal.
I never plan on getting caught, so I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm a rape survivor.
Why hates Christmas?
Yeah.
It's here for rape. Whether
No,
it's
I mean
rape,
8 cases, no charges.
whether it's rape or murder, here you get a mandatory life sentence.
Really?
Yeah, but
That'd have better been some good pussy.
yeah, so you're out
Some
inside.
good man ass.
So you have to
Whatever you're
stay.
into.
You have to stay inside for at least 7 years on a life sentence.
Oh,
Oh,
is that
not
what they
a
do?
life
I know that guy, the dude from, actually I got the book right over here, but the guy from the band Burzum from Norway, he burned down all those churches and then he killed a guy. They sentenced him to life, 14 years.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't think that's how life works. I don't.
I like their
what is
prison system.
What is their definition of the word life? Just
I think they're just like such
life?
libtards that they consider that like, oh, come on, he learned his lesson from one lifetime.
Live a lifetime in 7 years.
Yeah.
In England, the theory of it is that you are at Her Majesty's pleasure for life, so that if you do anything, so you can get you might get parole after 7 years. Most people don't, but you might, but you've got to be on your best behavior for the rest of your life, because for the rest of your life you can be in prison without any trial.
I see.
You've been a naughty boy. You're going inside.
Yeah, you know that guy who did that that guy Anders Breivik also in Norway, speaking of which,
No
he
comment.
killed like but dude, by the way, if you ever read his manifesto, he literally just ripped off Uncle Ted like for the whole thing, essentially. But what's it called? But anyway, so this guy
it's American cultural hegemony.
Yeah, I guess so. Blue Jeans and Ted Kaczynski.
Which ironically is probably one of the things that really pissed Uncle Ted off.
Yeah. He didn't want to be a meme. But what's it called? No. So anyway, he shot up like 46 people and he was like racist and shit and blah, 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 blah. We're not going to get into that. Maybe we'll do an episode on it sometime.
If I ever get murdered, I hope it's not by somebody racist.
I know. What insult to injury. But no, he's in jail now, and I think he's also like they do still have a maximum sentence of like 16 years there, and also he petitioned the government in like maybe 5 or 6 years ago because he felt he was suffering in cruel and unusual punishment because he only had a PS2 and PS3 was already an old console at this point.
Right.
God damn! How is that prison?
No, Scandinavian prisons are pretty cool.
You just killed 46 people. Now here's like a kind of shitty apartment. You gotta live there.
Yo, that bar guy,
be $5,000 a month in New York, in Manhattan.
Yeah. And the VAR guy, the guy who burned the churches down, he was able to have like I want to say multi-million-dollar recording career from within prison. And I guess he just gave all the money to his wife or whatever. But it's insane what they let you to get away with over there.
You think when Tekashi 6ix9ine got arrested, he called him and was like, "Hey, so how'd you pull this off? Because I'd like to also have those multi-million-dollar recordings."
I don't think Varg would recognize him as human.
I once spent 2 weeks in Norway, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
but it's
Fuck Norway.
It's just a totally different culture. I don't.
Norway's gay.
Fucking weird.
It's very, very unpleasant. It's a horrible place, but they like it. So, like, who cares? You know what I mean? It's like I'd say the same thing about fucking Baghdad or whatever. As long as it's none of my business. But I wouldn't like to live like that. But they have one really cool rule. I went there in I used to make my living delivering fucking parcels, subcontractor. I had a van, used to deliver shit. And one year in the 90s, I hooked my caravan, you guys call it a trailer, touring trailer, onto the back of my van, stuck it on a ferry, went to Norway for 2 weeks in the middle of summer to experience the 24-hour sun. And it was like, they have loads of rules, but the officials, the government functionaries, really can't be bothered to enforce them against foreigners in particular, I think, because they're like, I took a load of beer in with me. I didn't even know if it was in the EU or not, which it isn't. And I took a load of beer in, and they do send a guy to look through your shit when you get into the country. And he said, "Have you got any alcohol?"
Are you doing be bringing in beer in?
Yeah. He asked me, and I said, yeah, I have. I've got a load of beer because I heard that it was expensive, and I had like a load of it stacked up in the toilet of the caravan. And he looked at it and he says, "How much do you think is there?" I says, "I don't know. How much am I allowed?" And he told me. I says, "I don't know about that much." And he goes, "Yeah, all right."
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was. But the food is fucking vile.
Yeah.
And they have. This is the middle of summer. I went shopping. I thought I'm going to cook something tonight. So I went to a supermarket. They didn't have any fresh vegetables, even in the middle of summer. It's like living on another planet where all foodstuffs have to be imported, right? And on the ferry on the way over, there was this kind of Norwegian celebrity chef doing a promo of how awesome Norwegian food is. And he was saying that the star...
He was making Hamburger Helper.
The star... worse than that. The star of the show was Norwegian dumplings, right? And I thought, oh, I'll try that. And I went to a place and had Norwegian dumplings. I tried it. It was instant mashed potato with Frankfurter cut up in it.
It's just a country of little fat kids with poor moms.
No, they don't.
What kind of recipe is that?
It's just it's instant mashed potato made with water and no butter.
They don't sell bread with crust on it.
It's gross. I tell you, the best meal I had in Norway was a hot dog.
Chicken tendies is a 5-star fucking deal. Is a 5-star meal.
Literally, the best meal I had was a hot dog from a gas station.
Hell yeah. I mean, dude, I've talked about this many times. Hot dog, underrated fucking meal.
America.
Yeah.
I feel like the best meal I ever had was at a 7-Eleven.
They have this really cool law that says you can camp wherever you want, right? So I had this...
The whole world's a Walmart.
Yeah. I had this...
The whole country, I mean.
I had this trailer, but the Norwegian people are so kind of... They're a bit mean-spirited and a bit, you know what, Scott, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're like, Syrian.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
They're like, very greasy and gay.
They're they're Central European refugees.
Yeah, they're like you know.
Hang on, let me just turn to the side so that the viewers can get an idea of what he's talking about.
So like I'd park up my shit and camp out somewhere, and then like a guy from the farm down the road would come and knock on the door and say, "Oh, you can't stop here." And I'd like, "Yeah, I can." He said, "Yeah, but I have a campsite down the road. You have to go and stay there." So it's like really fucking bad for business for the campsite guys. They go around finding people who are wild camping and telling them they have to go to their... Finding foreigners who are wild camping and telling them, "Oh no."
Wait, is it a grift though? Like, do they actually? Are they compelled to tell you and get you into their?
No, they're just doing it because nobody goes to their stupid campsite because you don't have to.
Those fucking Jew bastards! What the fuck? It's just like being a fucking asshole and wait. Hey, let me ruin your fucking REM cycle, bitch. Unless you pay up.
But I'm the only English. I'm basically the only English guy who, when visiting a foreign country, will tell a resident of that country to fuck off. So that's what I did. I just let them go. No. You can't stop here. You have to come to my campsite. How does fuck off sound? Sorry.
Good and dealing. Anyway, Bobby, tell us about Saturnalia. I want to know about this.
So basically, Saturnalia is the opposite of what Romans typically do. It's the Christians took on the Roman holiday instead of the other way around. Normally, Romans just adopt The holidays, it's kind of what you were saying. It was a way of getting everybody on board to celebrate. That's why we celebrate Jesus's birthday now instead of when he was probably actually born.
Yeah, the Orthodox have a completely different Christmas.
Yeah. The festival
I
started.
mean, also the Roman Catholic Church worships Satan and they rape kids. Anyway, go on.
Okay. I'll provide the counterpoint to that at some point.
Okay, fine.
It started on
Counterpoint, kids are fun to rape.
Welcome to the Marapeland group. Oh, fuck.
So basically, December 17th is when Saturnalia would start, and it would last a week through December 23rd.
Oh, shit. Wait, one second. William left. Let's call him gay.
Ooh, I was sucking dick in a truck stop.
Ooh. Oh, look at me. All right, go ahead. Sorry. This is funny.
No.
I'm going to tell him you guys said that when he gets back. I don't care.
No, don't, dude.
Please.
That's me.
Fuck. Sorry to interrupt you, Bobby. Go ahead.
No, please. That's what a podcast is. So it was a celebration to the god Saturn, and it completely flipped the Roman social norms on its head. Basically, for this week, the slaves were the masters and the masters were the slaves. Everybody was an equal. They would elect a god of Saturnalia or a king of Saturnalia who was in charge of making rules and things like that. He basically would give orders and would be in charge of making sure people were having a good time.
So it was just opposite day?
Pretty much, yeah, but for a week.
Oh,
long.
shit.
And like the king of Saturnalia's job was basically to make rules like anytime Steve's acting like a bitch, he has to drink. And like, so that way you would get drunk. And
Oh, so it's like a fucking drinking game. Like it's like fucking gay game kings.
Exactly. For a week long.
Steve, by the way, for the listener right now, is just chugging, because King of Saturnalia says.
Exactly. It was modeled off after a Greek holiday, but it really developed into its own thing. It would start with a feast at the beginning, which is why you see a lot of big Christmas dinners. That's really where the idea came from. They would slaughter 100 cows. The idea of Saturnalia was...
Fuck, not too many cows. Don't kill me. They're fucking very bad.
I actually thought to start doing it, but I figured you had it covered.
I don't like story of how a cow holocaust. Very bad.
This one actually happened, though.
Why are people stop shooting? We're at a war.
Also, I just, as an aside, sorry to cut in here, but basically, like Saturn is, if in the mythology,
the gay guy's back.
Oh, stop talking about him.
Oh, dude, his headphones are on.
Start talking about him. He's back. Fuck him. Fuck him.
No, but Saturn in mythology, if you recall, and I'm going to use the Greek names because they're more fun and also they're more memorable. But like Zeus was like the king god, but he came from Saturn was a Titan, and he's also known as Kronos too. And he kept having babies and devouring them because he was worried about them usurping his power and becoming king of all the gods. And
also,
finally,
babies are delicious. That's what, like most of the reason.
Counterpoint, the Marapeland group.
The little jelly donuts.
Adrenochrome Mark 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for nothing. I mean, he did fucking, eat the kids. But anyway, so his wife stole away one kid. It grew up to be Zeus or Jupiter. Jupiter slayed Saturn. Is it slayed or, slew Saturn. And he became king of the gods.
King of the Gods is a weird title, isn't it? It's like, you'd think God of the Kings would be better.
Yeah.
Well, as King of the Gods, I believe he was God of the Kings.
I think he kind of ruled, I think he kind of, in the chain of command, he was clearly at the top.
It's a 5-star general.
But yeah, also another thing is like he's also associated. I think for when it became Saturn, here's the thing. Like Bobby said, basically like Roman religion was basically just like a mishmash of everything that they conquered essentially. So they kind of at times, or I believe at least at the time that this holiday was popular, Saturn was kind of a mishmash between the Kronos guy who ate his babies and also Dionysus, or Bacchus is also known as. And he's like the guy, you know, he's fucking Mr. Tumnus from fucking Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. He plays a flute, he gets pussy, he sucks cock, drinks wine. It's all the fucking fun shit. Yeah, orgies and shit. Yeah.
And there's a lot of evidence that that's what Saturnalia may have been a little bit.
Right.
Like one of the commands, it's known, like he would be like, you have to sing naked. The king of Saturnalia. There was a
my nightmare, by the way. when I start getting a vibrato, you don't want to see the way I just look horrible naked.
Everything vibrates.
Yeah.
Have we actually talked about the movie Midsummer on the show? Because
we have not.
I watched it with that in mind, and that's kind of is like this, isn't it? And it's about Norway.
Yeah.
Well,
some shithole Scandinavian country.
Spoiler alert, William. If we ever do end up talking, now that you've seen it, I can give you the spoiler, but they were worshiping Satan or Saturn.
Were they?
Yeah. There's a lot of literary clues that I could point out to you at another date, but they're basically worshiping Satan, or in this case, Saturn.
Right.
And he's like, there's a lot of that where it's like he may be the devil. Or he's the fertile one. Like there's not for the Saturnalia purposes, it was more about like regeneration, rebirth, like happiness.
Right. Also, by the way, Midsummer, regeneration and rebirth. Remember they would kill the people in it and then they would burn them and put them back into the earth.
And they would reverse roles. So basically there are two different things.
So I would be the bottom and William would be the top.
Yeah. William, you would put something through the glory hole.
Yeah. Other than my credit card.
But either...
Oh, shit.
Just kidding. I don't have a credit card.
Oh, fuck.
And then a big thing was gambling. So typically at this time period.
Oh, so all of the vice.
Exactly. And Scott, you may be able to relate to this. Spinning a dreidel, things like that. Little dice games.
Hey, I disavow. I disavow.
But it was like the one day where they were allowed to gamble. And I actually think this is cool. It kind of combines our two stories. Because in 1512 England, King Henry outlawed all sports. Basically, he decided he wanted his people to work. And if they were playing sports, they couldn't be working. So he
was known for loving sports, by the way, King Henry VIII.
So like 15...
but he outlawed it, except for the day of Christmas, which was a reference back to Saturnalia, because they were allowed to gamble for this week. It was actually encouraged. People were supposed to do it. And then the big one is gift giving. They would give little trinkets, tokens of appreciation, basically the things that you would, little figurines like ornaments today is what they would give to each other. There's a lot of evidence that those ornaments or little figurines turned into the ornament tradition and trees and things like that. And it's where the gift giving idea came. A lot of people always say, why do we give gifts on Jesus's birthday? Well, because the pagans wanted a way to tell each other they loved him before they had a giant love orgy.
Right.
Like at the end of Midsummer.
Exactly. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm going to now.
Sorry, spoilers.
No worries. I hate horror movies, so you took out all the scary parts for me.
Okay.
I don't know if you're with me on this one, Steve, but I have no eye for symbolism at all in a movie. I'm completely literal, and I just watch what's happening. This is one non-gay aspect of me. I don't care what they mean. I just watch it, and I either enjoy it or I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you for the most part. I judge movies based on whether or not they put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, like I will get lost in a plot, and maybe I will start looking for symbolism and things just because it's an interesting movie, or I'm sleeping.
Right.
But usually I don't care if your movie's good. It doesn't need all that fucking deep like subplot shit. It doesn't need the Yeah.
Yeah. It just needs Mel Gibson or Bruce Willis, and it's fine.
Or Arnold, Sylvester. Don't forget about the big boys.
Yeah, true. I fell asleep during the first Hobbit movie.
Was that just because you were high, though?
I was not just high, but shit faced.
I didn't fall asleep during that. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I'm not a child or well, I am a fag, but I have never seen it.
Yeah, well,
That's why.
I know for a fact I would not. I would thought that movie would put me to sleep. That's
Yeah. I just thought because there's no symbolism in it whatsoever, and it's just a very base level piece of shit movie that I was going contrary to what we were talking about. But you know what it is? If you remember what the time period was, there was like nothing good out for like several years, and I had one of these movie gift certificate theater things, and I had to use it up, and I'm a big Lord of actually look, I actually took out one of my Tolkien books sitting right there, but I'm a big Tolkien fan, but I hate the movies. I even hate the Lord of the Rings movies. Sorry, I'm gay.
Have you ever seen a movie called Hooper?
Hooper.
I think it's called
No.
Hooper. It's about a stuntman and it stars Burt Reynolds.
I saw a movie called Pooper, but I don't think you've seen it. No, I have not seen that. What's your take?
I saw it in the movie theater, and I believe it was the B movie to Star Wars in 1977.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorite movies. Although I think I saw it on VHS in the days of video rental as well, in the 80s at some point. But it's this guy. He's sort of like a bit Lethal Weapon-y, because he's a stuntman who's like 2 weeks from retirement or something, and he has to do this big stunt.
And he's too old for this shit.
He's too old for this shit, and god damn it, his body's going to give out at any moment. And but he's so good humored with it. Every time he hurts himself, he just laughs it off. It's awesome. So you can stick your hobby up your fucking ass.
I think if your favorite movie is just a slapstick comedy featuring Burt Reynolds, you don't get to criticize people for liking Lord of the Rings. I'm just throwing that out there.
I
At
wholeheartedly
least there's a plot, good versus evil.
Well, look, I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings.
Why would you? You like movies that aren't for fucking boring dorks. Those are boring dork
Well,
movies.
no, I agree with you that
agree with
the Lord of the Rings movies are boring dork movies, and I hate them.
But listen, the reason I haven't seen them is because they
are fantastic. You guys are all soulless.
No, I got a fucking a 5x5 foot fucking map of Middle Earth in the other room, dude. Don't get me fucking started. I love Lord of the Rings. Those movies are fucking trash, and they're filled with CIA propaganda.
Scott, I'm going to deal with those two first.
The two towers.
What about the video games? How do you feel about those?
Fucking cheap PS2 trash.
we literally have all. Do you play video games, Steve?
Oh, of course.
I think we have all spectrums of Lord of the Rings opinion here, because I think video games suck.
All video games?
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Okay.
I'm a grown man. And
Did you ever like them?
I kind of like Doom.
Okay,
that was a classic, though.
Yeah. So I won't just condemn them out of hand. Doom was good, but then there's so many things tried to emulate what Doom was and failed that I just gave up on the whole concept of gaming. I was like, no one's ever going to top that. I think I was whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know.
Doom is the pinnacle of video games.
Yeah.
Never gonna get better than this, boys.
All I need is 8-bit metal music.
Like Garrett's summary of Red Dead Redemption, he says it's virtue signaling horse riding.
That's fucking funny.
I'm not gonna lie. When I heard him say that, I kind of lost luster the whole game.
So anyway, I think all games are gay. I think Lord of the Rings movies are probably gay. I've never seen him. The reason I've never seen him is I think the books are gay. They made me read the books at school when I was about 12, and I thought even at age 12, I was too fucking based to read that gay shit.
Dude, Tolkien was based.
He was gayst.
He was a base British National Socialist.
He was a fucking tryhard.
Yeah, he did definitely. That's actually perfect loop back to World War I, by the way, where him and his fucking fag buddies all got their fucking clocks cleaned, and he said, "I'm gonna make my own fake language now."
Yeah. But don't tell me he had something to do with Esperanto.
No. He made up all the languages in Lord of the Rings are real workable languages.
I think actually, Red Dwarf, the first two seasons.
Big fan, by the way.
Well, the first 2 seasons were funny, and then after that, it's just garbage. But in the first 2 seasons, which are based on the books, what's the robot hologram assholes?
Holly.
No.
Crichton?
No, the guy who's a hologram.
That's Holly, dude. Oh no, Holly's the computer, right?
Rimmer, that's it.
Yeah.
Rimmer.
I think that was obviously an intentional name. The guy who's a fucking asshole's name was Rimmer. Yeah, the heel on the show.
He's always boasting that he's fluent in Esperanto. I don't know if you noticed that. That's a
dude, that's like fucking dude. George Soros's dad invented Esperanto. Not bullshitting.
Was that before George packed him into a cattle truck and sent him to fucking Belsen?
No, I believe it was afterwards. It was one of those things where, like, we are Jews and we just basically made the Holocaust happen by literally helping, but we're going to make sure there's never another Holocaust by making a fake language up and also funding Black Lives Matter.
It's funny. Like George Soros not wanting another Holocaust. It's the same with all businesses, isn't it? As soon as somebody makes money in a business, they want to make it hard for anyone else to get into that.
Yeah, exactly, baby. It's regulatory capture. All right, let's start to wrap up
for 10 seconds to the point where William said, "Oh, Lord of the Rings is for kids," and then was like, "Have you seen Red Dwarf? The thing with the computer and the hologram?" And it was good for 4 seasons. Fuck you, man.
2 seasons. Red Dwarf is a lot better than Lord of the Rings.
You haven't seen it. How would you know?
I've read the book, and I've read the Red Dwarf books.
Okay.
Counterpoint, you're a fucking faggot.
I am a fucking point. What the fuck is Red Dwarf?
It's just this British TV show about these guys in space. It's a typical fucking British humor too, by the way.
Yeah, it's but you have Robot Wars. Do you have the British version of Robot Wars?
I watched it on PBS as a kid. I don't know. Do you guys remember the British version of the Robot Wars show?
Which is the original version, by the way.
The original version, yeah.
That show where like people built robots that tore each other apart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, then
Yeah, I remember that. That show was the shit.
Yeah. Well, the guy, the
host,
mulatto chap who was the host, was the star of Red Dwarf. Also convicted rapist and crack addict, but much like Mike Tyson, innocent
and dreadlocks have her.
Wrongly convicted racist, let's say. I wholeheartedly believe, and he's also one of the best like funk DJs in Britain. He's fucking awesome. Craig Charles, he's a good guy.
Wait, he was the main character. Well, I don't even know if you ended up saying it, but he was the main character of Red Dwarf.
Yeah, what was his name? Because Rimmer
Lister, Dave Lister.
Dave Lister, that's right. Yeah.
All right, have you had a nice little walk down memory lane now? You fucking old fuck. Shows from the 80s and fucking shitty movies with fucking what's his name from fucking
say his name, motherfucker. It's Burt Reynolds.
Hooky and the Bandit, Burt Reynolds. What the fuck, dude? He did gay shit, and then he said he was gonna write a book about it, and then he just didn't. Anyway,
just as Tolkien.
It's funny. You know what? No, I'm gonna reveal myself as too much of a fucking loser. I've been watching through Star Trek Next Generation, and I'm like, wow, these guys are like legit Nazis, except minus being racist. their whole system of governance is like literally like it's very militaristic. Everything's free. It's all about conquering new lands. And
shout out to the sci-fi nerds, by the way, because I've never seen Star Trek Generation. I've never seen a single frame of it because when I was a kid coming up, I did watch Star Trek because it was on TV and there were only 3 channels. And it was okay. I liked it well enough. And I saw the first Star Trek movie at the movies and I thought it was terrible.
It was.
And so like after they've made a movie of it and then they come out with a new generation of it, I'm not even going to try it. You know, it's like if you've been bitten by a rattlesnake, you're not going to pet a cobra, right? I was like, no, I'm finished with this shit.
And we're back to the show where a British guy doesn't like things.
If you hate it so much, then why do you dress like Picard's biggest fan with your dad's sweater and your yellow nerd glasses?
Yeah.
I don't get the reference.
No, you just look like you live in your mom's basement.
If you like,
despite the fact that I'm literally in my mom's basement, of the two of us, you look more like you live in your mother's basement.
So right, my point being, sci-fi fans, check out Blake 7. It's very good. The first one season of that is very good. It's actually like a libertarian sci-fi thing where
interesting.
It's these guys steal a spaceship and fight against all the governments of the universe. It's fucking cool.
It does sound pretty good. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Bobby.
Anyway.
It's on YouTube.
Anyway.
Blake's 7. Check it out.
There you go. There's a good plug for a show that's been off the air for 25 years. Now let's wrap it up. I think that's been a pretty good Christmas present for the fans. So I want to thank Steve for joining the show. I want to thank Bobby for co-hosting with me tonight. You did a fucking stellar job.
Thanks,
You're on the short list next time this fucking homo has a appointment at the truck stop. And anyway, so what do you guys Steve, what do you want to plug?
Just Compound Media, watching Hot Water Morning, all the shows. And yeah, that's it. Come Friday.
At Steve Conti the God on Twitter.
Yeah.
And Bobby, what would you like to plug, my friend?
Check out the Eastside Dave show every Tuesday at 7:30. The Pat Oates show, we put it out every Sunday. And follow me at Bobby_Tamburro.
All right. And
guys, always a blast.
And I want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas, despite the fact that I hate this holiday. I want you to have a good one. And I hope you enjoyed our Christmas present to you. So so go to www.historyhomos.com for all of our episodes. You can follow us across social media at History Homos Pod. And you can follow our YouTube channel with full-length videos, including this one. It's just by searching History Homos on YouTube. And also it's the bio link for all of our social media accounts. And give us a follow while you're there, by the way. And follow me at Instagram at Scott Lizard Abrams. And hail Saturn, William.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Later, homos. All righty. Hang on, let me just quickly stop recording. Boom.
Thanks, guys. You were